symbolizes the dispelling of the darkness of ignorance with the light of knowledge. To do the honors, may I call upon the following dignitaries. Our chief guest today, His Lordship, Justice Yasantha Kodagoda, President's Counsel, Judge of the Supreme Court of Sri Lanka. Guest of honor, Professor P. M.C. Tilakaratne, Vice Chancellor of the Open University of Sri Lanka. Special guest, Mr. Janaka S. Chandragupta, Secretary of the Ministry of Health, Sri Lanka. Dr. Lal Panapitiya, President of the College of Medical Administrators of Sri Lanka. Dr. Asela Gunawardena, immediate past President of the College and the Director General of Health Services.
Dr. Kumara Wickramasinghe, President-elect of the College of Medical Administrators of Sri Lanka. Dr. Samindhi Samarakon, Secretary of the College. Dr. Kapila Wickramanayake, Treasurer of the College. Representing past presidents of the college, the most senior past president present, Dr. Lushan Jayasuriya.
Thank you. Let me now invite the following dignitaries to take their seats at the head table. Our chief guest today, His Lordship, Justice Yasantha Kodagoda, President's Counsel, Judge of the Supreme Court of Sri Lanka. Guest of honor, Professor P. M.C. Tilakaratne, Vice Chancellor of the Open University of Sri Lanka. Dr. Lal Panapitiya, President of the College. Dr. Asela Gunawardena, immediate past President. Dr. Samindhi Samarakon, Secretary of the College. Dr. Kapila Wickramanayake, Treasurer of the College.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will begin this evening's proceedings with a beautiful cultural event to welcome the gathering, performed by the medical students of Colombo Medical Faculty. We invite the group on stage.
Today, I want to tell you 3 stories from my life. That's it. No big deal. Just 3 stories. I didn't have a dorm room, so I slept on the floor in friends' rooms. We worked hard, and in 10 years, Apple had grown from just the 2 of us in a garage into a $2 billion company with over 4,000 employees. And then I got fired. How can you get fired from a company you started? But it turned out that getting fired from Apple was the best thing that could have ever happened to me. It freed me to enter one of the most creative periods of my life. During the next 5 years, I started a company named Next, another company named Pixar, and fell in love with an amazing woman who would become my wife. Apple bought Next, and I returned to Apple. Of course, it was impossible to connect the dots looking forward when I was in college, but it was very, very clear looking backwards 10 years later.
For we meet in an hour of change and challenge, in a decade of hope and fear, in an age of both knowledge and ignorance. Why climb the highest mountain? We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other thing, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because that challenge is one that we're willing to accept.
අපි ඉන්නේ 1964 ජපානයේ ඔලිම්පික් කුලලෙහි මීටර් 10,000 ඉසව්වෙන් ලංකාව නියෝජනය කරන්න රණතුංග කරුණානන්ද සූදානම්. කරු 20 වෙන වටය පටන් ගන්නවා. ඇමරිකාවේ බිලි මිල්ස් තරගය දිනුවා. දෙවෙනි තුන්වෙනි ස්ථානත් තෝරා ගන්නවා. නමුත් අපේ කරුණානන්ද විතරක් තවමත් තරග බිමේ තරගය ඉවර කරන්න කරුට තව වට 4ක් තියෙනවා. සියලුම ක්‍රීඩකයෝ දැන් තරගය අතහැරලා කරුණානන්ද විතරක් උපරිම ජවයෙන් දුවනවා. මුල් වටේදී ප්‍රේක්ෂාගාරයෙන් කරුණානන්දට උසුළු විසුළු. දෙවෙනි වටේ හැමෝම නිහඬයි. තුන්වෙනි වටය 60,000කට වැඩි ප්‍රේක්ෂාගාරයේම ඔහු වෙනුවෙන් නැගී සිටිනවා. ඔන්න අවසන් වටය. ඔක්කොමලා අසුන් වලින් නැගිටලා කරුණානන්දට ප්‍රීති ഘോഷා නගනවා. Come on Ceylon, come on Ceylon.
Make enough mistakes. You fall, you stand up.
Even though we face the difficulties of today and tomorrow, I still have a dream. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up, live out the true meaning of its creed.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now our pleasure to call upon Dr. Asela Gunawardena, the outgoing president of the College of Medical Administrators of Sri Lanka, to welcome this distinguished gathering with the opening remarks and elaborating the college activities of the year 2022. Over to you, sir.
Good evening to all of you. Our chief guest, His Lordship Justice Yasantha Kodagoda, President Council, Judge of the Supreme Court of Sri Lanka. Our guest of honor, Vice Chancellor, the Open University of Sri Lanka, Professor PMC Tilakaratna, President-elect, College of Medical Administrators of Sri Lanka, Dr. Lal Panapitiya, Secretary to the College, Dr. Samin Samarakon, Treasurer to the College, Dr. Kapila Wickramanayake, all the council members, all the past presidents, members of the college, Secretary to the Ministry of Health, all the additional secretaries, all the deputy director generals, all the provincial directors, regional directors, directors of the hospitals, and directors of the Ministry of Health, representative of national development partners, representative of all the colleges and universities, all the other consultants, senior registrars, and ministry officials, distinguished invitees. I have 3 tasks to accomplish today. One is to welcome all of you and to give a flashback what we have done in 2022 and to induct the new President, Dr. Lal Panapitiya. Dear distinguished guests and esteemed colleagues and fellow members of the College of Medical Administrators of Sri Lanka, it is my great pleasure and honor to welcome you all to this prestigious gathering of College of Medical Administrators this evening. As healthcare professionals, we all share a common goal of improving the health and well-being of our community. And it is through our collective effort that we can achieve this goal. I would like to welcome our chief guest, His Lordship Justice Yasantha Kodagoda, President Council, Judge of the Supreme Court of Sri Lanka, for this presidential induction ceremony of the College of Medical Administrators of Sri Lanka year 2023. Today, our guest of honor, Vice Chancellor of the Open University, Professor PMC Tilakaratna. I would like to welcome you, sir, for this prestigious event of the College of Medical Administrators. I would like to welcome the President-elect of the College, Dr. Lal Panapitiya, and Dr. Samindi Samarakon, the Treasurer of the College, Dr. Kapila Wickramanayake, Dr. Samindi Samarakon, the Secretary of the College, and the Treasurer of the College, Dr. Kapila Wickramanayake, and all the council members, past presidents, members of the college for this presidential induction event. I would like to welcome Secretary, Ministry of Health, all additional secretaries, Deputy Director Generals, Provincial Directors, Regional Directors, Directors of the hospitals and the Ministry of Health for this event. And I would like to welcome representative of National Development Partners, representative of other professional colleges and universities, and all other consultants, senior registrars, and officials of the Ministry of Health, and all the other distinguished invitees for this event. Distinguished guests, members of the College of Medical Administrators of Sri Lanka, ladies and gentlemen. It is with great pleasure that I join you today to celebrate the presidential induction of the College of Medical Administrators of Sri Lanka. I want to congratulate the new president on assuming this vital role, and I want to express my gratitude to all past presidents for their service to the college. The role of medical administrators is crucial to ensure the smooth functioning of our healthcare system. You are responsible for managing resources, making critical decisions, and leading teams of healthcare professionals. The work that you do impacts the lives of countless individuals, and I want to acknowledge and appreciate the hard work and dedication that you bring to your roles. As outgoing president, I am committed to supporting the work of the College of Medical Administrators of Sri Lanka. We recognize the importance of investing in education and training of medical administrators, as well as providing the necessary resources to enable them to carry out their responsibilities effectively. We understand that you face numerous challenges, including budget constraints, staff shortages, and ever-evolving regulations. I want to assure you that we are committed to working with you to overcome these obstacles and create a healthcare system that is accessible, efficient, and of the highest quality. I also want to take this opportunity to recognize the importance of collaboration between medical administrators, healthcare professionals, and other government officials and all the other relevant stakeholders. We must work together to address the challenges facing our healthcare system and ensure that all Sri Lankans have access to the care they need. By pooling our resources and expertise, we can create a healthcare system that is both effective and sustainable. Now I would like to go to the flashback of 2022. I took this president post from the previous president, Dr. Saman Ratnayaka, and we had a very bad start actually, my council and myself. All of us know that country went on an economic downfall with political instability, and actually we lost about 6 months of my presidency and the council to start our work. But anyhow, we continued our work the way that we can. So we had regular council meeting in spite of all these difficulties, and these are the council meeting calendar. You can see we had each and every month, so we had even a hybrid format. College activities, even though we had economic crisis, we try to have the college activities, CPD activities each and every month. I am not going to go through each and every activity, but I will rush through the CPD activities. The first one is managing practical issues during foreign training. Actually, it was coordinated by the Vice President at that time, Dr. Kumar Vikramsinghe. And the second one, we had social marketing for medical administrators. It is done by Professor Nalin Abesekara in the Open University of Sri Lanka. The third activity, we had entrepreneurship for medical administrators. It is also a hybrid format, and it was done by Dr. Kitsri Edirisinghe and his team. And the fourth activity was obtaining board certification in medical administration, the CPD program for that. The fifth one is brilliance in managing people. It is done by Professor Ajanta Dharmasiri. The sixth one is a workshop for developing communication skills on medical administrators done by Professor Mudianse. The seventh one was a webinar series on mindfulness and emotional well-being, actually coordinated by Dr. Nilamani Hewagigana. And the eighth one is a workshop on writing good CV. And I think Dr. Kumar Vikramsinghe and Dr. Suranga Dolamulla is coordinated this activity. And this is our members outing, Serenity Village in Paduka. And we had management subcommittee. We have done a lot of things, but I have mentioned here very few because of the time factor. The college registration, restructuring and reform of medical administration and organizational structure of Ministry and the Department of Health, creation of new posts for medical administrators, looking to the PhD and the DSc by research bid by OSL. Actually, it was initiated by our guest of honor today, Vice Chancellor of the Open University. And actually, because of the economic crisis, we had the induction as well as the annual scientific sessions, both in one session. So we had the annual scientific session in the November, and the Marling oration was delivered by our former Director General of Health Service and the currently WR to Pakistan, Dr. Palita Mahipala. And we had one regional scientific session. It is in Jaffna. I think it's a very successful one. So I hope the new president will continue that tradition. And these are the publications we out from our college last year. And these are a few challenges before I wind up. The medical administrators are facing at the moment the current economic crisis and the consequence of the crisis and migration of health workforce, alternative financing methods. So what are the most suitable methods we'll have to choose? Improve efficiency and productivity of our staff and minimize the maldistribution of the workforce. These things actually I was addressing in my presidential address last year. And future opportunities for the medical administrators. All of us know our DDG post, PD, RD, hospital director, and all the MS posts. They are in limited number. We cannot expand those posts each and every year. So I think here the Board of Study Chairman will be here and all the Board of Study members are here. So at least try to create the consultant post in these specialties: human resource management, project management and procurement, health economics, enterprise architecture, that is computer, and the patient safety and quality improvement. And there are many more areas where our administrators can be specialized. So then we can employ them as consultant, as the DDG office, or in the director's office, maybe DG office, right, CCPs. So because our director post and all the other posts are limited in numbers, so it will definitely filled up in few years' time. So the acknowledgement before I wind up, I have to acknowledge the help that is given to me by the secretary at that time, Dr. Alan Dodowike, and the treasurer, Dr. G. Vijayasuriya, and the vice president, Dr. Kumar Vikramasinghe, and all the council members. They have given me the fullest support. Otherwise, during that period, all with the economic crisis, we won't be able to do that events and all these activities. And all the past presidents of the college and committee members of the management and all the other committees and subcommittee presidents and the non-council members of the college. All the other non-council members also help us during our time. And lastly, the sponsors. Without them, I don't think then we will be able to make these things reality, and we'll be able to actually save some amount of money for the new president, so he'll be able to carry on the activities which in this year. In closing, I want to congratulate the new president once again and wish him, the new council, all the best in their new roles. I also want to thank the members of College of the Medical Administrators of Sri Lanka for their dedication to improving healthcare in the country. Together we can create healthcare system that is envy for the world and that provides the best possible care to all Sri Lankans. Thank you. Have a pleasant evening.
Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, next on the agenda is the address by the guest of honor, Professor P.M.C. Tilakaratne, Vice Chancellor of the Open University of Sri Lanka. I would now like to invite Dr. Samindhi Samarakon, Secretary of the College, to introduce Professor PMC Tilakaratne.
Professor PMC Tilakaratne is the Vice Chancellor of the Open University of Sri Lanka. He graduated from the University of Kelaniya with a Bachelor of Commerce degree, obtained the Master of Commerce from the Punjab University, India, and the PhD from the University of Aegean, Greece. He possesses extensive experience and expertise in curriculum design and development. He has been a reputed consultant to the World Bank on higher education and also to the World Bank AHEAD project, reviewing postgraduate degree programs of Sri Lankan universities. He has worked as a curriculum restructuring consultant to Jaffna and Eastern universities under the World Bank. Professor Tilakaratne is a quality assurance specialist in higher education and an institutional reviewer for the University Grant Commission. He has provided technical consultancy services to the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Sri Lanka. He was a founder director of the Financial Services Academy of the Securities and Exchange Commission of Sri Lanka. He held the position of CEO, director of the Australian College of Business and Technology. Prior to his appointment as Vice Chancellor, Professor Tilakaratne served as the head Department of Accountancy and director to both the Staff Development Center and the Center for Distance and Continuing Education of the University of Kelaniya. He is a professor in accountancy, Faculty of Commerce and Management Studies. He was instrumental in introducing MBA to the University of Kelaniya. Professor Tilakaratne has published several accountancy-related research papers in national and international journals. He is an eminent teacher for undergraduate and postgraduate students of University of Kelaniya, Colombo, and Moratuwa. Professor Tilakaratne is a visiting professor to the University of Sachin, Poland. It is my honor to invite Professor Tilakaratne to address the gathering. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for the introduction. No need, of course. I think that I'm the only professor here and His Lordship, except, we both from the non-medical background. His Lordship Justice Yasantha Kodagoda, President Counsel, Judge of the Supreme Court of Sri Lanka, our chief guest to this evening, President-elect College of Medical Administrators of Sri Lanka, Dr. Lal Panapitiya, Dr. Asela Gunawardena, our outgoing President, Dr. Samindhi Samarakon, Secretary to the College, Secretary to the Ministry of Health, Director Generals, Directors, Registrars of Hospitals, all past Presidents, Council members, distinguished invitees, ladies and gentlemen. I feel honored and privileged to address members of the College of Medical Administrators of Sri Lanka in this evening. First and foremost, thank you for inviting me to address this intellectual gathering. Since the inception of the healthcare delivery system in Sri Lanka, administration and management of healthcare institutions, divisions and directorates have been carried out by medical officers. Medical administrators have the responsibility to improve the healthcare provision in a sustainable manner. In the general and health-specific administration of Ministry of Health, provisional and regional directorates, and tertiary and secondary care hospitals. The scope of medical administration includes health development, implementation of national health policy, research and professional advancement, human resource development and fostering, fellowship among professionals engaged in medical administration. Thus, it was necessary to provide medical officers who are undertaking administrative positions in the Ministry of Health, as well as provisional and regional directorates with the necessary knowledge, skills, attitudes that would allow them to become efficient medical administrators. Today, no need to say, the health sector is facing a severe crisis due to the shortage of medicines, surgical equipment, and chemicals used in labs. The costs of these items have gone up tremendously, adversely impacting on the entire health sector in Sri Lanka. This year's allocation for the health sector is just 322 billion Sri Lankan rupees compared to 539 billion rupees for defense and the police. The government's allocation for health, however, is only on paper. Successive governments have consistently provided only 1 or 2% of the country's gross domestic product for the health service. The Sri Lankan government is implementing the savage budget cuts demanded by the International Monetary Fund, including slashing funds to the public health service. As part of this year's budget, the President of Sri Lanka, who is also the Finance Minister, emphasized the importance of establishing paying wards in state hospitals as part of its moves to dismantle what remains of the country's free health service. Billions of rupees are immediately needed to prevent the collapse of public health service and to provide free, high-quality health services to the masses. The health service must be urgently provided with the necessary medicines and infrastructure, along with more health workers at all facilities. The country's healthcare budget, everyone is very much aware, comes directly out of taxes, or it may be funded through payroll taxes, which affects a citizen of take-home pay, including myself. Advanced personal income tax. Let's consider how to achieve resilience in the health system, very timely topic that selected for this evening. We know that catastrophic events occurring over the last decade have highlighted the need to understand how to govern health systems in face of extreme and largely unforeseen disturbances or shocks. In high-income countries, this has been triggered by the economic crisis, and low and middle-income countries by the sudden outbreaks of infectious diseases like Ebola and that other old diseases, as well as civil conflicts with catastrophic consequences. Most recently, the emergence and rapid spread of the novel coronavirus disease since late 2019 has been severely testing health systems around the world, converging or interacting with other crises such as economic and migration crisis. However, we cannot continue with status quo. Achieving a state of resilience is important. Resilience is commonly understood to be the capacity to recover quickly from difficulties. Even there is no exact word or a definition for the resilience for the health sector. The application of the concept of resilience is far from new and relates to multiple areas, ranging from physics to human psychology. Most definitions of health systems resilience focus on health system preparedness and response to a severe and acute shock, and how the system can absorb, adapt, and transform to cope with such changes. Sudden and extreme, severe changes which will impact on the health system. We are aware that WHO identified characteristics of health system resilience through 6 building blocks. I'm not going to elaborate, but it is worth to mention. They are leadership and governance, where the College of Medical Administrators can take the role on that. Information, health workforce, financing, most important today, medical products and service delivery. However, question comes to our mind whether that these 6 steps are sufficient to achieve health system resilience. Based on the countries with the most efficient and successful responses to COVID-19, so far we can advocate 2 additional domains be added to the WHO's 6 conventional building blocks framework. First one, a meaningful intersectoral collaboration. Second, a functioning global health surveillance and response system, both of which were meaningfully adopted in countries such as South Korea, Singapore, and New Zealand to combat COVID-19 crisis. To achieve resilience, College of Medical Administrators Sri Lanka focuses on research areas covering the following I would suggest, such as measuring and managing systems dynamic performance, how that performance indicators will be achieved in each and every administrative role and the projects. The linkages between societal resilience and health system resilience, second one. Third one, the effect of governance on the capacity for resilience. Do we have capacity for resilience? There are systems in the world where that we could benchmark. Creating legitimacy and the influence of the private sector on health system resilience. A key to filling these research gaps will be longitudinal and comparative case studies that use co-creation and co-production approaches go beyond researchers to include policymakers, practitioners, and the public. Not only research, but also need to adapt good practices adopted in other countries such as out-of-pocket paying, national health insurance, the Bismarck model, the Beveridge model, etc. I'm not going to elaborate because you will find in the literature what are those models. With this, we know that when changes are proposed, it is obvious that emergence of the resistance from various stakeholders. I'm also coming from the state sector, where when I assumed duties as the Vice Chancellor in 2021, June, the Open University of Sri Lanka reported a loss of 1.58 billion consecutively 3 years. When I seated, I thought that how to achieve the resilience. Different strategies I used. Then within 6 months, I was able to turn around the university 103 million surplus. This year, 2022, the university audited financial reports revealed 685 million surplus. That is the real meaning of the resilience. Then the Council of the Open University asked from the Vice Chancellor, how did you turn around the university? Then I returned the question to the council. You are the previous council. Why didn't you ask the same question from the previous Vice Chancellor who held the position and they made consequently 3 years losses? Then my strategies I'm not going to reveal. That was my answer. That's why I said always resistance is there for the change. Change, when the resistance comes, we know that when the changes or the strategies suggested to change the health system in Sri Lanka, the working class will fight for whatever changes by taking matters into their own hands. This requires the building of action committees, independent of the trade unions and all capitalist parties. In this scenario, doctors, nurses, and other health workers need to establish health workers' action committees. This must be expanded to all hospitals and other health institutions. The funds necessary to save and develop high quality, free public health service can be found by denying all foreign debts, seizing the wealth of billionaires in this country. Consortium funding. We never thought of consortium funding. And forming a unit trust for capital formation, where I have my own experience to share with you. When I, again, on my sabbatical leave, I served for the government of Sri Lanka as a director to the Financial Services Academy of the Securities and Exchange Commission of Sri Lanka in 2000, way back in 2008. At that point of time, also paid the salary, 200,000 per month, net of taxes, and with other perks. I thought that it's not worth to draw salary, given the task. Then the provision was there to establish within the Securities and Exchange Commission a unit trust established. And I write off my all salary and the value of the vehicle given to me and all other administrative overheads as well. When I left, it was again profit-making venture. So therefore, I would suggest to the Sri Lankan health sector, the hospitals, with the donors, we can that create what is called unit trust for the capital formation that we need to buy medical that essentials, equipment plus that medicine. Approaching donor agencies, therefore, it is inseparably connected to the fight for workers and peasants' government as part of struggle for international socialism. I checked whether our constitution provided the free health in Sri Lanka. I didn't find it. But some other countries, of course, I found in the constitution, of course, that very well written, free health care to their own people as well as foreigners. So therefore, we have from the constitution itself some room to explore the possibilities of achieving resilience. I firmly, by formulating policies and adopting vivid strategies and creating awareness sessions to educate general public in Sri Lanka, the association of the College of Medical Association administrators will be able to elevate the health sector in Sri Lanka to the expected level of general public in Sri Lanka. I hope with this research initiations and you all that policies will achieve the resilience in the health sector and also become one of the most critical pressure group in this country to serve this country for the that betterment of the people and to have better healthcare facilities for all the poor living in Sri Lanka. So thank you very much once again inviting for this occasion.
Thank you for your inspirational thoughts, sir. And I would like to invite the president of the college to present a token of appreciation to our guest of honor, Professor P.M.C. Tilakaratne. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time now for the address by our chief guest tonight, His Lordship Justice Yasantha Kodagoda, President's Counsel, Judge of the Supreme Court of Sri Lanka. Now I would like to invite Dr. Lal Panapitiya, President of the College, to introduce our chief guest. Over to you, sir.
His Lordship Justice Yasantha Kodagoda, President's Counsel, Judge of the Supreme Court of Sri Lanka, was born in Colombo in 1965. He had his primary and secondary education at Isipathana Vidyalaya and Ananda College. He has been an outstanding student at Ananda College, participating in and undertaking many academic and extracurricular activities, such as a junior and senior prefect and supervisor, member of the college junior English debating team, college music circle, and president of the Buddhist Association. His Lordship Justice Yasantha Kodagoda had his primary legal education at the Sri Lanka Law College and postgraduate legal education at University College London. Postgraduate diploma in forensic medicine and sciences from University of Colombo and the LLM degree with merits from University College London are his additional academic qualifications. He was called to the bar as an attorney at law of the Supreme Court in October 1988. During his distinguished legal career, he has served as a senior state counselor in Attorney General's Department, Deputy Solicitor General, and Additional Solicitor General. In 2015, he was appointed as a President's Counsel. He became the President of the Court of Appeal in Sri Lanka in March 2019. His appointment to the Judge of the Supreme Court of Sri Lanka took place in 2020. His noteworthy achievements and accomplishments are too numerous to list here. Highlighting a few, Justice Kodagoda has served as a professional legal advisor to several reputed institutions and agencies, being a visiting lecturer to Sri Lanka Law College and many other universities in Sri Lanka, being the chairman of the ICCPR Drafting Committee of the National Action Plan on Human Rights, and being the chairman of and member of the many other law-related committees and commissions. His Lordship, Justice Kodagoda, has presented law-related papers at many local and international conferences and seminars, published articles in many legal journals. In summary, Justice Kodagoda is a leader, a teacher, a researcher, an advisor, and a mentor, an administrator, an exemplary personality in the legal field. His Lordship is a loving son of eminent Deshamane late Professor Nandadasa Kodagoda, former Vice Chancellor of University of Colombo and former Dean of the Medical Faculty of University of Colombo, and one of my loving teachers. So we all know, and who has been a respected forensic medicine teacher to many of us present here today. Your Lordship, it gives me a great pleasure to invite you to address the gathering as a chief guest today.
the guest of honor, Vice Chancellor of the Open University of Sri Lanka, Professor PMC Tilakaratne, distinguished invitees, newly inducted President of the College of Medical Administrators of Sri Lanka, Dr. Lal Panapitiya, the former President and the Director General of Health Services, Dr. Asela Gunawardena, Secretary of the College, Dr. Samidhi Samarakon, the Treasurer, Dr. Kapila Vikramanayaka, officials of the Council, fellows and members of the College, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me great pleasure to participate at this event at which Dr. Lal Panapitiya is being inducted as the 30th President of the College of Medical Administrators of Sri Lanka. I congratulate you, Dr. Panapitiya, on your election to this important and prestigious position. Dr. Panapitiya is a learned medical professional with a high standard of professionalism. He brings with him a vast amount of professional experience in administration and management of health services and health institutions in the public sector. Therefore, I have no doubt that he will this year lead the College of Medical Administrators to achieve the goals of the chosen theme of his presidency. It appears to me that Dr. Panapitiya, together with the members of the Council, have advisedly chosen this year's theme because it is relevant and timely. The importance and the need to overcome challenges in the health sector is critical, particularly given the situation that has arisen due to the financial crisis which has engulfed our beautiful and beloved country. It is my wish that under Dr. Panapitiya's leadership, members of the college will become effective leaders and managers as opposed to being mere administrators of healthcare institutions. I hope through robust leadership, prudent planning, and effective implementation, your membership will become able to overcome the many serious and unprecedented challenges that the health sector is likely to encounter during the coming period. Particularly with the onset of much needed reforms to alleviate our country from the economic crisis, we have most unfortunately fallen into, I believe, health sector administrators, particularly of the public sector, will face many challenges. I have no doubt regarding the genuine desire on the part of the past, the present, and future governments to retain policies entrenched in our welfare state, including in particular the policy of free health for all, which all of us require and cherish so much. However, ladies and gentlemen, with the mounting need and the emphasis to curtail government expenditure for the purpose of bridging the budget deficit, I have every reason to believe that time would come in the not too distant future to reduce utilization of public funds for welfare purposes. However much we may dislike, that seems to be the ground reality. That will, ladies and gentlemen, as you would appreciate, include reduction of funds to maintain the public health sector. Without compromising on the quality and the nature of public health services, the goal of reducing expenditure can possibly be achieved by several ways. Prioritization of activities with the aim of ensuring that public funds necessary to run essential and vital health sector services remain available will be necessary. Pruning down on non-essential services will be equally important. Equitable distribution and mobilization of available resources enabling their optimal utilization would also be necessary. Ladies and gentlemen, eliminating opportunities for corruption and wastage and zero tolerance of those two cancers will be absolutely essential. Elimination of corruption will also contribute towards improving the correctness and the quality of administrative decision making. Recovery of health service expenditure from those who can afford reimbursement, either through personal funds or through insurance, is another method by which equity in health services can be achieved. While, of course, that will result in a reduction of the public funds that is necessary to maintain public health services. I am mindful that the implementation of this proposal can be politically sensitive and also be controversial. It will be seen as moving away from the policy of free health for all. Therefore, it would have to be implemented only after engaging in comprehensive and inclusive consultations and without imposing any further financial burden on the lower strata of our communities who are already in extreme difficulty even to manage day-to-day living. On the other hand, ladies and gentlemen, the policy of eliminating corruption and wastage and maintaining zero tolerance cannot be sensitive or controversial, nor can there be political or social resistance to such a policy. I cannot think of any national-minded person with public interest at heart who would be against the elimination of corruption and wastage. Every public sector decision which is based on or linked to corruption costs the national economy. It is the taxpayer who has to pay for it. Corruption-induced decisions are almost always incorrect decisions as well. Therefore, corruption has multifaceted consequences. As health sector administrators and managers, you obviously know much more than I do as to where corruption and wastage occurs, why it occurs, and who is responsible. It is most unfortunate that even at a time when the financial survival of the state is being seriously challenged like never before, and the public is being seriously inconvenienced due to the ongoing financial crisis, we come across continuing instances of corruption and wastage. It is a fact that corruption and wastage remain in our public sector like two virulent cancers simultaneously affecting the same ailing patient. In this instance, the patient is the entire country and her people. In this backdrop, ladies and gentlemen, I believe your membership needs to rise up to the occasion. As in the fields of preventive and curative healthcare, you need to design your responses to the two cancers of corruption and wastage, also from two similar angles. You need to prevent incidents of corruption and wastage by removing opportunities for it. If, notwithstanding strong and effective preventive measures being put in place, incidents of corruption or wastage continue to occur, you need to support enforcement of effective accountability measures through the application of the law aimed at identifying, prosecuting, and punishing wrongdoers. That must happen at both disciplinary level as well as at the level of criminal justice. You would therefore see that as leaders, managers, and administrators of the health sector, you have a key role to perform towards the elimination of corruption and wastage in the health sector. It is my fervent hope that your college will take up this issue of corruption and wastage as a priority area that requires your immediate attention. I hope you will identify opportunities for corruption and wastage within the health sector and develop systems to eliminate such opportunities. I also hope that you will develop guidelines which can be adopted by the Ministry of Health as administrative rules so as to ensure objective decision making while preventing decisions being taken for collateral corrupt purposes. Ladies and gentlemen, I do not wish to take any more of your time. I wish to take this opportunity to congratulate Dr. Lal Panapitiya and members of the council. I hope that you will be successful in accomplishing the organizational goals and this year's theme. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for that patient hearing.
Thank you very much, Your Lordship, for those thought-provoking words. And I would like to invite the President of the College to present a token of appreciation to the Chief Guest. Ladies and gentlemen, we now move on to the most important segment of today's proceedings, the ceremonial induction of the President of the College of Medical Administrators of Sri Lanka. First, we would like to invite Dr. Samindhi Samarakon, Secretary of the College, to introduce Dr. Panapitiyage Vijayalal Chandrasiri Panapitiya, President of the College of Medical Administrators of Sri Lanka.
A consultant in medical administration with a glorious resume of over 30 years engaging in the field of healthcare service, including more than 25 years of experience in the medical administration field. Dr. P. Vijayalal Chandrasiri Panapitiya has been the Deputy Director General, Medical Services in the Ministry of Health since 2018. As a medical administrator, he has been a professional with multifaceted competencies, engaging in primary, secondary, and tertiary healthcare management. An alumni of University of Colombo, having obtained his MBBS in 1991, MSc in Medical Administration in 2002, and MD in Medical Administration in 2008, Dr. Panapitiya received his overseas training at the Queen's Margaret University, Edinburgh, UK, and the WHO headquarters, Geneva, Switzerland. He has been a board-certified consultant in medical administration since 2011. Dr. Panapitia's contribution to the field of medical administration and beyond is immense. He is a member of the Board of Study in Medical Administration, a supervisor, a trainer, and an examiner in the MSc and MD Medical Administration courses. Moreover, he is a member of the Board of Studies in Emergency Medicine and the former member for the Boards of Studies in Disaster Management and Biomedical Informatics. Dr. Panapitia has been a pioneering leader in the development of the National Accident and Emergency Policy and the NCD Prevention Policy. He has contributed his expertise to the development of the field of emergency medicine, sports medicine, healthcare costing, medical supplies, National Transplant Program, community child development centers, digitalization of health services, as well as telemedicine service development, thus creating new vistas. As a researcher and a practitioner, he has contributed to many international and local scientific publications and led many national and subnational level innovative projects. Dr. Panapitia's multitude of responsibilities borne over the years include serving as an additional secretary medical services to the State Ministry of Primary Healthcare, Epidemic and COVID Management, Deputy Director General Medical Supplies, Director Medical Services, Director Medical Supplies, Director Non-Communicable Disease, Medical Superintendent Base Hospital Embelipitia and Base Hospital Panadura. He remains a member of the Board of Directors of the National Transport Medical Institute, member of the Board of Directors of the Child Protection Authority, and member of the Advisory Committee of the National Quality Infrastructure of the Export Development Board. He has been an active member of the College of Medical Administrators of Sri Lanka since 2004 and contributed much to the professional development and welfare of the members of the college. Dr. Panapitia is a distinguished old boy of Henegama Central with many awards for the extracurricular activities including literature and art. He is married to Dr. Hasanti Jayalat, consultant oncologist at KDU and loving father of Tisumi, Vishma and Lakindu. It's great pleasure and privilege to present our newly elected president, my teacher, my mentor, Dr. Lal Panapitia, to you.
We would like to invite the outgoing president of the college, Dr. Asela Gunawardana, to formally induct the president of the college, Dr. Lal Panapitia, by administering the oath of office.
Dr. Lal Panapitia, you have been elected to the office of President of College of Medical Administrators of Sri Lanka, and you will be expected to preside all the meetings of the Executive Council and any special or general meeting. It is your duty to uphold the Constitution of the College of Medical Administrators of Sri Lanka and work towards achieving the objectives for which the college was established. With the members of Executive Council, you are expected to plan out the work and progress of the College of Medical Administrators of Sri Lanka. Your fellow members will be judges, not you. Now is the time to plan how to direct the College of Medical Administrators of Sri Lanka to help professionals to work for the benefit of the profession and the country. Will you, Dr. Lal Panapitia, solemnly declare that you will serve the College of Medical Administrators of Sri Lanka as the president to the best of your ability?
I do solemnly pledge to serve as the president of the College of Medical Administrators of Sri Lanka to the best of my ability.
Now that you have formally declared your intention to serve as president, I hereby announce that you have been duly elected as the President of College of Medical Administrators of Sri Lanka, and I will induct you as the 30th President of the College of Medical Administrators of Sri Lanka by placing this symbolic medal of office on you. You shall wear this chain of office at all general meetings and ceremonial functions. I congratulate you most sincerely and extend you my best wishes for a successful year under your leadership.
Asela Gunawardena, the outgoing president, will now present the President's Medal to Dr. Lal Panapitiya.
Dr. Lal Panapitiya, the President of the College, will now present the outgoing President's Medal to Dr. Asela Gunawardena. Thank you, sirs.
Today, I want to tell you 3 stories from my life. That's it. No big deal. Just 3 stories. I didn't have a dorm room, so I slept on the floor in friends' rooms. We worked hard, and in 10 years, Apple had grown from just the 2 of us in a garage into a $2 billion company with over 4,000 employees. And then I got fired. How can you get fired from a company you started? But it turned out that getting fired from Apple was the best thing that could have ever happened to me. It freed me to enter one of the most creative periods of my life. During the next 5 years, I started a company named Next, another company named Pixar, and fell in love with an amazing woman who would become my wife. Apple bought Next, and I returned to Apple. Of course, it was impossible to connect the dots looking forward when I was in college, but it was very, very clear looking backwards 10 years later.
For we meet in an hour of change and challenge, in a decade of hope and fear, in an age of both knowledge and ignorance. Why climb the highest mountain? We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because that challenge is one that we're willing to accept.
අපි ඉන්නේ 1964 ජපානයේ ඔලිම්පික් කුලලෙහි මීටර් 10,000 ඉසව්වෙන් ලංකාව නියෝජනය කරන්න රණතුංග කරුණානන්ද සූදානම්. හරු 20 වෙන වටය පටන් ගන්නවා. ඇමරිකාවේ බිලි මිල්ස් තරගය දිනුවා. දෙවෙනි තුන්වෙනි ස්ථානත් තෝරා ගන්නවා. නමුත් අපේ කරුණානන්ද විතරක් තවමත් තරග බිමේ තරගය ඉවර කරන්න කරුට තව වට 4ක් තියෙනවා. සියලුම ක්‍රීඩකයෝ දැන් තරගය අතහැරලා කරුණානන්ද විතරක් උපරිම ජවයෙන් දුවනවා. මුල් වටේදී ප්‍රේක්ෂාගාරයෙන් කරුණානන්දට උසුළු විසුළු. දෙවෙනි වටේ හැමෝම නිහඬයි. තුන්වෙනි වටය 60,000කට වැඩි ප්‍රේක්ෂාගාරයේම ඔහු වෙනුවෙන් නැගී සිටිනවා. ඔන්න අවසන් වටය. ඔක්කොමලා අසුන් වලින් නැගිටලා කරුණානන්දට ප්‍රීති ഘോഷා නගනවා. Come on Ceylon, come on Ceylon.
Make enough mistakes. You fall, you stand up.
Even though we face the difficulties of today and tomorrow, I still have a dream. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed.
Ladies and gentlemen, next on the agenda is the address by the newly inducted president. We would like to invite Dr. Lal Panapitiya, the president of the College of Medical Administrators of Sri Lanka, for the presidential address.
Good evening to everyone. Our chief guest today, His Lordship Justice Jasantha Kodagoda, President's Council, Judge of the Supreme Court of Sri Lanka. Guest of honor today, Professor PMC Tilakaratne, Vice Chancellor of the Open University of Sri Lanka. Secretary of Health, Additional Secretaries, Deputy Director General of Health Services, all Deputy Director Generals, Directors and Ministry officials, representatives of national development partners, representatives of all colleges and universities, all past presidents, secretary, treasurer, council members, honorary senior members, fellows and members of the college, all distinguished invitees, ladies and gentlemen. Today is a memorable day of my life. I would like to express my sincere gratitude for all college members for being unanimously elected as the president of this prestigious college, College of Medical Administrators of Sri Lanka. With more than 30 years of experience in the field of management and dedications to the college, hope I will be able to uplift the college into a certain level. With the support of all the members, with due respect to the past presidents and past councils. Dear distinguished invitees, I would like to give a quick briefing about my college and its achievement. It was formed as Association of Medical Administrators in 1974 and converted as the College of Medical Administrators of Sri Lanka in 1992 with 46 visionary leaders. Our patron, Dr. George Fernando, was the founder president, and Dr. Shanti Dalpadadu served as the founder secretary. Our past presidents have been instrumental to guide the college to where it is today. Sri Lanka Journal of Medical Administration, first published in 1994, is now available in the Sri Lankan journals online. CMASL is a proud member of the World Federation of Medical Managers, a global network of organizations for medical managers. Our scientific sessions are being continued yearly from 1993. You can see the objectives of CMASL here. And considering the achievements of our prestigious college, CMASL was able to develop separate board of study in medical administration at PJM in 1993, recognizing the significance of medical administration as a separate specialty for health system management. The first batches of MSc and MD were enrolled in year 1994 and 2004 respectively. Since then, there were 21 batches of MSc and 13 batches of MD have completed, comprising a total of 364 MSc PG holders and 58 board certified consultants in medical administration up to 2023. Ladies and gentlemen, it's proud to highlight the rich and lengthy history of healthcare in Sri Lanka, dated back over 5,000 years, the era of Maharishi Pulasti and King Ravana. The books Kumaratantra and Arkashastra wrote by King Ravana are still being used in Ayurvedic universities in India and Sri Lanka. World's oldest hospital has been found at Mihintale as per the archaeological evidences. Surgical and medical use equipment also found even in some other places, some other locations. Why I mention here actually, the allopathic healthcare system in Sri Lanka developed during the British colonial period. We had a long history before that even.
and first primary healthcare unit was established in Kalutara in 1926. You see, other healthcare systems also being operated here, also playing a significant role in building health system resilience, supporting to the health system resilience, particularly in times of crisis. Distinguished invitees, these are the commonly discussed challenges for decades. Non-communicable diseases have become a huge burden on our health sector, utilizing large portion of budget and facilities. Despite these, it is essential to continue routine services to save the lives of these patients, most of with NCDs, and preventing complications even during crisis. It's important to note that all of these conditions are preventable through behavioral modifications, highlighting the importance of preventive care, preventive services. Preventive health services in Sri Lanka achieved better indices compared to even some other developed countries, with some diseases eliminated and eradicated even. As you know, apart from those routine challenges, health is a dynamic environment. New challenges, diseases, changes in disease patterns and trends are inevitable. Apart from the routine challenges, as we discussed before, here are the new challenges and issues leading to the frequent crisis of the current health system. Even if health managers focusing on planning and implementing new developments with new innovations and technologies, but their top priority and responsibility has become to ensure the healthcare system resilient enough to meet the challenges head on due to current unpredictable situations. Last year, we navigated through the troubled waters. Now, our duty is to rise through the challenges. Ladies and gentlemen, when we consider the country as a whole, there are 5 key pillars, which includes health, defense, economy, education, and judiciary system. These are crucial for the development of any nation. The structure cannot be strong when there is any collapse of even in a single pillar. Likewise, a country cannot move forward and withstand if there is any jerk of or fall of or collapse of any of these above pillars. Whether we fortunate or unfortunate, whether we lucky or unlucky, whether we blessed or cursed. So we have already witnessed the jerk on 3 out of 5 pillars in our country. We witnessed the jerk of defense sector due to 30 years of war and Easter attack, and how it has hindered the development of the country. But we, health sector and its services, been withstand during the entire struggle. That's called system resilience. We witnessed the jerk to the health sector due to COVID pandemic and the impact on country's development. But we health sector, as the frontline workers, get motivated, grab the opportunity, quickly redesign and adjusted the health services as required to overcome the pandemic and successfully rendered the services for entire nation. That's called system resilience. Now, we are witnessing the jerk to the economic sector and the death of its impact on country's development. Again, we, the health sector, committed on ensuring the routine services and minimizing the health impact due to the economic downfall. That's called system resilience again. We could be able to achieve resilient health system during above all hardships. So we don't want to actually start from the zero level, from the beginning. I want to talk about a concept that is novel but very important for all of us to understand building resilient health systems. During all the above challenging period, we perceived the need for collaboration and coordination across borders and other sectors to build health system resilience. I believe with the immense past experience, I can give a brief on health system resilience and why it warrants other sector involvement beyond boundaries. The system resilience, considering the system resilience, the emergence and rapid spread of COVID-19 emphasized the critical importance of building resilient health system all over the world. What is resilience? It's a state of preparedness and capacity to withstand and respond to a shock. What is shock then? It means any known or unknown, sudden or extreme changes in the environment of our organizations which impact on the health system. It is somewhat different between, there's a difference between shock and predictable stress in health sector, such as population aging and increasing incidence of multimorbidities. Dear all, there are many definitions for health system resilience. In general, health system resilience is to get, absorb, adapt, and transform as a response to change. You all can see the scientific definitions mentioned here. I would like to elaborate some certain attributes of a resilient health system. As mentioned here, being prepared with the capacity to absorb and adapt means the ability of health systems not only prepare for shocks but also to minimize the negative consequences, responding effectively to changes and challenges at different system levels, and recovering as quickly as possible, adapting by learning lessons from the experience, even past or present. Most importantly, the most important thing in a system, maintaining provisions of critical functions and essential services even during a crisis, and focusing to deliver high quality care services across the varying conditions. And because of the above issues, here you can see from the onset of a crisis or shock, performance of an organization is regressed. However, with absorption and adaptation, it can rise again and even transform into a better state depending on the dedication and capability of the managers. As per the diagram here, you all can see the management of shock is described as a cycle with 4 stages. Preparedness, identifying the gaps and most vulnerable areas, shock onset and alert, timely identification of shock, and shock management with absorption and adaptation, and recovery and learning from experience. There are some strategies developed for building a resilient health system to overcome any crisis situation. These challenges are based on the health system building blocks. Let us discuss briefly on these strategies and some cost-effective activities making the system more resilient as well as efficient, quality and safer. Today I am here actually not for me, myself, and as the president of the College of Medical Administrators and representing all the medical administration fraternity. I am actually representing here to express and show what we have done during past times and currently what we are doing here. As shown here, to improve service delivery, it is necessary to develop the system as well as to build up of essential resources. That means improve access to resources and services. To design, develop and implement all above, there should be strengthened, skillful workforce. Other bases, considering the relationship, other bases are sustainable health financing mechanism and improved information system with effective surveillance system. When we achieve all these, it will ensure the social justice and equity, as well as community engagement and empowerment. Success of all these strategies require empowered visionary leadership with shared vision. Responsibility of leaders is to achieve the good governance and directing all stakeholders into a common goal. Whole of country approach, one country, one health. There are many interventions implemented to improve the above all strategies by the Ministry of Health. That's why I said before, so representing you all, I am here. Improved service delivery based on focus on delivering a safe, quality, productive and customer-focused services even during a crisis. Considering the coverage and accessibility of health service delivery in the country has been attained through preventive and curative care institutional networks with island-wide coverage connected with good road network and transport system. Effective system development with improved productivity, introducing new technologies and innovations can greatly improve the service delivery. It must be focused to enhance the capacity to deal with the demand in sudden surges. Usually in shock stages or crisis, it damages the supply and the balance between the supply and demand. Medical technology assessment based on the resource mapping provides a guide to identifying the norms for distribution, redistribution or reutilization of the resources and services. We have introduced newly under the leadership of the Director General of Health Services, the Medical Technology Assessment Unit. So then I think our Secretary of Health actually will support to improve that unit for the betterment of the services. The main critical elements of a successful system is a well-motivated, well-committed, well-supported, strengthened health workforce distributed with the right skill mix. This is applicable for even preparedness and management of crisis. National CPD program has also been initiated to strengthen more the health workforce. And another important factor to achieve the health system resilience and for the success of any system, effective, accurate and timely information system and information sharing culture, that's I want to stress. Information sharing culture both plays a significant role on timely decision making. The effective surveillance system integrated with alerting mechanism is essential for the early detection of emerging health threats. Actually, what we experienced during the COVID-19 period, it was successful in our country to a greater extent. Ensuring a sustainable financing mechanism, that's the most important thing I think function all systems. Essential for any system to operate efficiently and effectively, highlighting the importance within a crisis. Then we must consider resource pooling, and out of the usual way of financing, we must consider resource pooling and new ways of revenue generation mechanisms, such as local manufacturing, even for exports. Actually, we could able to actually introduce during the COVID crisis period to a certain extent, and medical tourism and educational tourism, and alternative financing sources with supplementary social security coverage through social health insurance and earmark taxes. That means a taxation on tobacco and alcohol diverted for a health contingency fund should also be considered. Empowered visionary leadership and improved governance are crucial for the success of all other strategies discussed here. A true leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the ways to the others. And governance is another contributing factor for the resilience. The main features: responsibility, accountability, transparency, fairness, and stewardship. Dear all, it's those to be followed by all institutions, government, staff, and the public. In service provision for a resilient health system, remember to ensure health equity and social justice in our efforts, particularly for vulnerable population, which could be achieved through all above. Empowering and engaging communities to be proactive and responsible for their own health needs and challenges is essential for a resilient health system. Ladies and gentlemen, so I would like to emphasize some the contribution actually to be developed, to be done by the CMASL. CMASL has dedicated to strengthen medical leadership and to develop transformational leadership from its inception. Frequent skill development trainings are being conducted not only for the members but also for MICs and MOHs in primary healthcare level. And also mid-level management training introduced by our one of our senior past president, and training for MOICs in order to develop medical leadership with technical, conceptual, and interpersonal skills. CMSL always pursues to streamline medical administrative pathway of its members to get permanent administrative post rather than covering up for a long time. Also, Council is hoping to propose more conducive medical administrative structure in future with support of all stakeholders as per already initiated discussions. Support mechanism for attending members' grievances has been introduced. We suggest to aware basic management concepts to clinical consultants even, which will be helpful to conduct their day-to-day management as the clinical unit heads. CMSL suggested facilitating revisions of guidelines, manuals, and preparing roadmap with our proposals for making the health system more resilient. All members have been informed to introduce new innovative projects in their institutions to make the system efficient, quality, and safer. Those will be evaluated and appraised with the proper approval of DGHS and the Secretary of Health. The achievements with best practices selected through a competition will be published through the college YouTube channel which has been developed. This will be an initiation of evaluation mechanism for the medical administrators, encouraging dedicated leaders. It is through a teamwork with involvement and assistance of other sectors, other categories, other specialties, trade unions, intercollegiate committee with all other specialties, since this task cannot be achieved alone. Hence, we invite all of you to join with us in any relevant way of collaboration. Organizational training, learning culture, actually, as we discussed before, in order to prepared for crises like pandemics, we need organizations that are adaptable, resilient, and capable of learning from both successes and failures. So, ladies and gentlemen, we will take some time to discuss what lessons learned actually through the previous crisis. Ladies and gentlemen, there is no set standards for health system resilience. It's all about keeping on improving ourselves and set our own standards at top level based on the lessons learned with the past experience and the wisdom we have to foresee the future. I would like to draw your kind attention to the fact our discussion hereafter is not focused solely on the way we manage the COVID-19 pandemic, but rather on developments and interventions that we implemented during this crisis, making the system resilient and which are still valid and applicable for any future crisis as well as in our routine management. The success story of managing the pandemic was a shining example of the importance of medical leadership and a lesson on strategic management of service management and human resource management as well. Unfortunately, we often forget the lessons what we have learned due to our day-to-day routines. The busy schedules. Distinguished invitees, during the pandemic, main focuses were to build up services for managing the crisis while maintaining the routine patient care. I would like to mention 3 areas in pandemic management regarding service delivery with building up essential resources. Firstly, improving surge capacity gradually in all 3 levels by strategically identifying suitable care levels with least compromise to the routines and routine patient care. Secondly, managing high influx of patients, especially during third wave. So due to the time constraints, I don't have time to actually discuss all the details with you, but anyway it has been shown here separately. With implemented innovative solutions such as, what are the innovative solutions implemented during that period? So home-based care with a call center in order to manage actually the sudden huge influx of patients in third wave, the home-based care with the call center facilities, step-down centers by utilizing primary healthcare institution and developing intermediate care centers, hotlines for patient information, decentralization of follow-up care to peripheries, to the provinces. Thirdly, one of the most important thing, the oxygen management. It was a very, I think, remarkable achievement for us. It was managed without any crisis. A cardinal issue actually, which has well coordinated centrally and strategically managed successfully with effective forecast. During the COVID crisis, we were able to improve all hospital infrastructure with equipment and oxygen management facilities as well as infrastructure even for molecular medicine system for the future. We have strengthened our system more resilient even to face current as well as future crises. We considered innovative and flexible approaches during the crisis in system development, such as strengthening primary health care facilities with necessary resources, conducting mobile NCD follow-up clinics to prevent the complication of NCD patients, especially during the lockdown period, home-based care with the call center support, use of telemedicine and teleconsultations. Actually, we have now initiated and being strengthened to provide a comprehensive care for from the primary health care level. Community-based home visits, step-down concept with underutilized primary health care institutions. That's why I actually mentioned before. So those are the lessons, those are the interventions what we did during the crisis time, and we have forgotten to continue those. So then even today in the routine management also, those could be utilized and continued for a successful, effective service delivery. All strategies in human resource management were implemented in the ministry for strengthening health workforce. During the COVID-19 pandemic management, we took all the measures necessary to maintain their safety, such as awareness, training, availability of adequate PPE, personal protective equipments, and isolation facilities. COVID crisis provides a good opportunity to introduce online meetings and online training mechanisms, especially used for educating all health and non-health staff categories as well as the public. Following IT solutions and interventions designed to improve the overall medical information system were effective and instrumental during crisis management. Dashboards for COVID management, HIUS system for COVID patient statistics, and surge capacity, identifying the surge capacity on preparedness. ICU bed surveillance system, oxygen app to assess institutional availability and usage. So it was developed by one of my SR. Actually, that's why I am representing all the medical administrators here, what they have done. HealthNet for mapping of all resources, equipment inventory management system, hotlines for patient advice and consultation, online training platforms. One of the positive outcomes of the COVID-19 pandemic was the opportunity to identify gaps in our systems. Accordingly, we have taken many measures for efficient, cost-effective services to make our system resilient, such as revitalization of primary health care, introducing telemedicine, and many others. Today, we face enormous challenges on provision of health services, including provisions of essential medicine, laboratory service, brain drain of health workforce, and financial hardships. Dear all, on top of that, risk of CBR and hazard is a major concern on global context. Natural disasters build on additional risk to the health sector. Developing infrastructure, ongoing CBR and training, and hospital preparedness plans already initiated for CBR and hazards. And for the impending, I want to highlight, for the impending crisis with the HR issues, especially with specialist medical officers, we have, due to the various reasons, and we have from the ministry and with the support of other unions, actually we have proposed some solutions to overcome these. There were limitless obstacles on moving forward our motherland as a whole. As a country, we are in a crucial juncture where we need to take bold decisions like do or die. We cannot be in between. As a president of CMASL, leading professional body in Sri Lankan health sector and health ministry official with responsibility and accountability, I, with the college and council, do our maximum to guide and support the higher authorities in this context, current crisis context of the country. In conclusion, I want to summarize here, building health system resilience beyond boundaries of priority. Resilience is not only how a system absorbs a shock and adapts, also how it transforms and evolves. Given solutions may create less effective to respond future shocks if not forecasted well. Regular system review is a must. Remember, one shock can follow another. If strategies in order, not only health systems, resilience not only achieving health system resilience, but also building a world with access for better quality health care for all, universal health coverage. Essential to have bold leadership with cross-sectional collaboration and governance to guide and direct for whole of country approach towards a shared goal, one country, one health. Ladies and gentlemen, finally, as I mentioned before, whether we like it or not, fortunate or unfortunate, blessed or cursed, we have a long history of resilience in our country. Boundless experience on the system resilience, which is very much limited in the region and other part of the world. We struggled, we survived, and we thrived in the past. Greatest threat to our country is the belief that someone else will save our country. I would like to take this opportunity to call upon all the sectors of the nation during this challenging period for a joint venture for the sake of our motherland. Again, we struggled, we are surviving now, and we will definitely thrive soon as a country. That's how the history says. But this time, we must not miss the opportunity to sustain for the betterment of the future generations. We would like to invite all other sectors and keenly waiting to extend our hands beyond the boundaries towards a common goal, one country, one health. As a take-home messages, I would like to say two things. Past success is the future killer. Crisis, always a good opportunity for a good leader to create a new future. Ladies and gentlemen, in this occasion, I would like to convey my sincere thanks those who were with me to come to this level and help me to come to this level. First and foremost, to my parents. Without their dedication, I won't be here. My family, wife, Dr. Hasanti, children, Tisumi, Vishwa, and Lakindu, who tolerated and assisted me all the ways. My sister Dunita and brother Atula, who wished and supported me in all the times. My father and mother-in-laws and brothers and sisters-in-laws, who supported and who respected and supported as their elder brother. My teachers in my school time, university, SLEDA, PJAM, and PIM. Also my mentors and senior college members, my mentors and senior college members, and all others in management field, who supported and guided me when necessary and appreciated all my good works. And the chief guest and guest of honor for gracing this occasion, our Secretary of Health, Mr. Chandragupta, Additional Secretary of Medical Services, Sunil Dialis, and Deputy Director General Health Services, Dr. Asela Gunawardena, who are giving me with enormous support as my superiors. Other additional secretaries, all DDGs, directors, regional directors of health services, and provincial directors of health services who are with me supporting in my official duties in the Ministry of Health. In the relevant unions, colleges, SLMA, SLMC, PSC, and other professional bodies and development partners. All my colleagues and college members who selected me unanimously and supported me my duties in CMSL all the times. At last, not least, Dr. Samantha, Dr. Siraj, and my senior registrars and registrar who helped me in preparing this presentation. And all who are here with me today at this night. Thank you. Thank you so much again.
Thank you, sir, for that inspirational speech. We would like to inform that the full presentation and reference material will be made available online for the members in due course. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now invite you to enjoy another beautiful performance by our medical students. We invite the group on stage.
What a stunning performance. Hope you all enjoyed. We now invite our dynamic secretary, Dr. Samindi Samarakon, to propose the vote of thanks.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good evening to you. I consider it a great honor and privilege to deliver the vote of thanks on behalf of the College of Medical Administrators of Sri Lanka this evening. I should convey my gratitude to all of you for joining us during this august occasion, which undoubtedly gives us strength. I would like to start by thanking our chief guest today, His Lordship Justice Yasantha Kodagoda, President Counsellor, Judge of the Supreme Court of Sri Lanka, for his gracious presence today. We are extremely grateful to your Lordship for taking time off your busy schedule to be with us this evening. I also would like to thank our guest of honor, Professor PMC Tilakaratne, Vice Chancellor of the Open University of Sri Lanka, for accepting our invitation and joining us in this solemn moment and adding color to this event. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to all our special guests, including the Secretary, the Ministry of Health, other higher officials of the Ministry of Health, representatives of the development partners, university academia, representatives of the other professional colleges and professional bodies for joining us today. I take this opportunity to express my appreciation to all past presidents, fellows, and members of the college for their support and participation. I also would like to thank our sponsors tonight, Yarden International Private Limited, Silajan Lanka Private Limited, Diatha Pharmaceuticals Private Limited, staff of Hotel Galadari, event manager Swedish Audio Visual, and Colombo Faculty Dancing Group. I would be failing in my duties if I do not thank the organizing committee led by the social subcommittee of the council, as well as all council members, junior members of the college, especially the current medical administration MSc group and the two compeers for all their hard work and commitment. This induction ceremony will set the tone for the coming year of the College of Medical Administrators of Sri Lanka as we journey ahead, rising up against the challenges and striving for the development of health system resilience, going beyond boundaries. Once again, I thank all of you for your presence and request your continued support and cooperation in the future endeavors. Thank you and have a pleasant evening.
Thank you, Madam. Ladies and gentlemen, with that we conclude the induction ceremony of the President of the College of Medical Administrators of Sri Lanka.
While thanking you for your gracious presence and kind attention, we kindly request you to remain standing for the ceremonial procession to leave the hall.
We would like to invite everyone for fellowship and cocktails. Have a pleasant evening. Thank you.
Thank you.
ඔබට තුන්නොනේ එකම නමයි මාදන්නේ ඒ නම දෙවේ සඳේ ලපතියේ මලේ කතියේ උපමාන සසලන්නේ ඔබේ නම දෙවේ Fana, वजनदये अतिथि जाना, मम्मो अपना गई कियाना, जमीने बिंदी जाना, चंदनदये फना, वजनदये अतिथि जाना, मम्मो अपना गई कियाना. जमीने कहीं लिजाना इजिन दिउदुवे ओ पत्था चुनलोवे एक मनमई मातनी ए नमाते संदे दपतिये मने कतिये उपमाने ससदे उबे नमाते Vivi quando una puta canam Opportunità pavaga kisiyam Munu sasele dima obeima Opasana mohata veva Opaganga dinaga veva Dinati amate veva Ehime deva, sihina deunduve, okata tunave, ekamanamai mandami, enamadere. Sihina deunduve, okata tunave, ekamanamai mandami, enamadere. लपतिये मने कतिये उपमाने ससदे ओपे नमाते මට 50 පිටිය වෙනුවෙන් ගියමුකෝ සුදු මැණිකේ කෙනෙක්. එකයිද? අලුයම හිරු එළිය වගේ කකුළු වල්ලක තිබුණා මගේ හදවත බැඳුණා තව මෙවන් දෙයක් නැතේ සිතේ සුදු මැණිකේ මගේ මැණිකේ අලුයම හිරු එළිය වගේ රුවල්ලක තිබුණා මගේ හදවත බැඳුණා තව මෙවන් දෙයක් නැතේ සිතේ දකින්න සිත වසඟ කරායයි දැසක දීලා සුසුවේ සන්තෝෂේ දුකයි සපයි සමදෙන්නේ අපේ සිතයි සන්තෝෂේ සන්තෝෂේ දුකයි තාදාලෙන් හේ අමේ හිතයි Voglio chiudere, mi metti davanti, ma te la, con una batteria, se ne si può finire domani, ma le palle troviamo, tu ne tarongamo, mi andava, mi le malve, o Go,